a pleasant evening to you all protocol observed. My name is Samantha Mubebe for the affirmative side with the motion that reads, this House regrets the formation of BRICS. Who is BRICS? BRICS is the abbreviation of 5 countries, namely Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, annually, which holds annual summits since 2009. Our first criteria is that we are going to juxtaposition BRICS with other international bodies which have held place, which are namely the UN, AU, and the former bodies, which will be the League of Nations from 1920. The mandate of BRICS is to focus on improving global and economic situations, and in my speech we will show to you how they have failed to do this and how they are not maintaining a standard which they hope to hold. Our first comparison will prove that their aim is null and void. First of all, to maintain global communication, BRICS is made of 5 countries, and whereas other bodies have been made of over 15 countries. So how can we therefore say that they're going to maintain their goal of global intercommunications with only 5 countries representing them, of which those 5 countries don't even cover all the continents on this earth? So therefore, how are they aiming to achieve this goal? Now, already BRICS is having so many disagreements within its structure.
Point, madam.
So you say how are they going to be able to achieve this, but do you know the BRICS countries represent 25% of the global GDP?
Exactly, 25%. 25% when you're clearly misunderstanding and ignoring the other bigger factor, which is the other percent which they will not be able to cover. Therefore, we are saying we regret the formation of BRICS because they are not going to be able to fill their mandates. On to my more positive matter, which is disagreements within these countries. Already, BRICS is having so many disagreements within them. China contributed so much money and so much capital, which is over $50 billion, of which Russia has contributed $18 billion, of which South Africa has only contributed $5 billion. So therefore, China is already saying, hey, just because I have contributed so much more money, I deserve to rule. I deserve to take power. I deserve to be the head that is going to rule BRICS. I am going to be the head that is going to rule the nation. And therefore, what is this advocating for already? Already there are disagreements. If already they can't come to terms with an agreement that will legalize and make a community where they are all equal, then what are they hoping to own and what are they hoping to achieve if they already can't agree with themselves? Already China is trying to take over the world globally. They're trying to be better than the Americans, as they have already started taking over many other places. They have already tried taking over BRICS on its own. They are trying to own a mandate which they have created and a mandate which they will not be able to fulfill.
So what exactly is wrong with China gaining more power?
Well, if China is getting more power, then which means this is not fulfilling their role of having a globalized economy. Because if they're not having a globalized economy, which means that they're not going to fulfill their needs. If already there are disagreements, is the point which you do not understand. China wants to take more. The others do not want this. The other countries, namely Russia and South Africa, are advocating for these countries to invent equal capital so that they each have an equal stand and they each have equal opportunities. And if they don't have these equal opportunities, then that is where the disagreements fall, ladies and gentlemen. The disagreements come because they are not meeting eye to eye. They are not agreeing, and therefore what productivity can be brought about if they are failing to agree and if they are failing to be productive. Now, on to another disagreement which is within these countries. Currently, they are trying to open about a new bank, a bank which they hope will overtake the World Bank so that they can be the leading bank in the world. Already, they are having disagreements. Simple disagreements as where to host it. Simple disagreements on where the bank should be held. If we are having disagreements on finding a simple thing such as a location, what makes us think they are in the right capacity and in the right state of mind to honestly fulfill these dreams, to honestly fulfill these goals which they have? If they can't be agreeing on simple things like this, then it clearly shows to us as a house today that we are not going to fulfill their mandate and they are not going to fulfill anything at all. Your point.
Don't you think these other countries could have pulled out of BRICS if they felt that China is not in the same belief with them?
Well, advocating for equality within the organization. And already, if other countries feel that China is trying to take over, what will this cause? This will only cause conflict within the organization. This will only cause for them to be disagreements. And this is what we are saying. If BRICS cannot fulfill their goals, this is why we say they are not going to be able to fulfill their mandate. And this is why we say we regret its formation. Why do we say we regret its formation? Because it is causing more harm than good. Without BRICS, what could be happening? Without BRICS, these countries could be focusing on how to develop their own countries, how to develop their own economies, and how to cater for their own people. I shan't be taking any more in your eyes, thank you. They can be focusing on how they will develop their own countries. But instead, what are they doing? They're coming here to hold annual summits of which they keep disagreeing and disagreeing and disagreeing. And at the end of the day, nothing productive is really happening. We can see to the idea and the fact that, sure, they have catered for a 20% increase in that, but this 20% is too minor to the other 80% which they have not catered for, and therefore we believe as House and Side Affirmative that their formation at all should not be even considered. At first, there was BRICS, and in 2010 South Africa joined, and this is why we feel that we regret the formation of BRICS and not the formation of BRICS, which is what my second speaker, Ms. Michelle Marifu, is going to come up here and elaborate on. Now, another thing that my second speaker is going to come and elaborate on, comparing our juxtapositioning of these two countries compared to the other leads, such as the UN and the AU, is the amount of resources, the 20% of the GDP, which BRICS is only catering for, and turning a blind eye to the 80%, which is still the bigger side of the deal. Now, if BRICS cannot cater for these with the only 20% that they have now, what makes us think today that they will be able to fulfill their mandate? Now, in the last minute, what have I come here to do? I have come up here, I have told you what BRICS is. I have told you their aims. And I have told you how they are already failing to fulfill these aims because of the already disagreements they have, because of the lack of foundation, the crippled foundation which they already have. The fact that they will not be able to fulfill these mandates because of the problem which exists in themselves. Of course it is not no, but the problem is the disputes which they have within the organization and the disputes that continue to carry out at hand. Now, if Side Affirmative could come up here and prove to us how BRICS has actually come and catered to and come up and actually progress and show any much progress. Sure, we can see that there's been progress, but the progress which has been there is not enough. So therefore, we regret the formation of BRICS because it is failing to